the journey to the journal. So, as most of you, hopefully, juniors, incoming seniors will do, you will join senior projects because it's a great experience. And the first thing you're going to walk in when you walk into that classroom is people are going to ask you what you want to do. And maybe you're like me, and you're going to answer with, I don't know. So I went into senior projects, and they're like, Cruz, what are you going to do? And I was just like, I don't know. But Cruz, you have to have an idea. You can't just come in here and do nothing, just sit there in class. And I was just like, I don't know. And thankfully, there was one thing that I actually did know, and that was my passion for writing. I love writing, guys. For those of you who know me, you know how much I love to write. Like, I could write forever and not get tired of it. And writing is my passion. And then Miss Bailey, she came along and she was just like, Cruz, do a literary journal. And I was just like, I don't know if I want to do a literary journal. And I was just like, I was having trouble pronouncing literary journal. And I was just like, if I have trouble doing that, imagine how hard that could be. So that weekend, because it was like a Friday when she told me this, that weekend, I got connected with my best friend, Google, of course, and I typed in, what is a literary journal? And you might, yourselves right now might be asking yourselves, what is a literary journal? Please tell me. And let me tell you, a literary journal is basically a composure of different types of writing or art, creative writing, put together in some type of form, like in some sort of database or something like that. And it can be, it ranges from short stories to poems to drawings to sketches. And I was just like, this is easy. I saw a bunch of examples on Google, like from other schools, and I was just like, this is going to be easy and it's going to be fun. And right when I said that, the struggle began. So I really thought this was going to be easy. Really thought this was going to be easy. But then questions started coming up. How, what, and when? Cruz, you need criteria. You need recommendations. Where is this going to be, and how are you going to get submissions? You need criteria. You can't just have like a bunch of like bad words up there and expect that to actually be there. You can't. You need recommendations. People aren't like you. They don't know what to write about. Maybe they do, but maybe they need some guidance to help them choose what they want to write about. Where is this going to be? Is it going to be on paper? Is it going to be online? And all this time I was just like, I don't know. And it's hard, it was hard. And then my next question was, where? And I came to Miss Bain, and Miss Bain was like, use WordPress. It's an easy blog website. Let me tell you this, for a beginner, me, WordPress is not an easy website. You will find yourself watching YouTube tutorials during first period, which is supposed to be your off period because you're not supposed to be doing anything because you're a senior, watching YouTube tutorials on how to actually function WordPress. And that was my morning every day. And then Sassy Santos came along. And I was ready, I was like into it already. And then, right then, he was just like, oh wait, you need a name. And the theme, and I was just like, Santos, I already have this. It's called MNTHS Literary Journal. And he's just like, oh Cruz, I thought you were creative. That crushed me right then. And I don't know if he meant it like that, I'm pretty sure he did. And, I was just like, I'll prove you wrong, I'll actually come up with a name. And then I came up with Cruising with Cruz, but then I was just like, that's too selfish, that's too much about you, it's not supposed to be about you, it's supposed to be about the school. And then I came up with MNTHS Literary Journal, but Santos had clearly crushed that one down. And then I was really, really planning on calling it the struggle. Because the struggle was what I was facing in that moment. But I was just like, so then I came up with Cruising with the Crew, and then I just fell in love with that for some reason, and I decided to go with it. And right when I thought that I had everything planned out, the struggle began, but it began to be real. So I was like, I have this already. I already have the name. I already proved Santos wrong. And then I come in first period, and I'm like, Miss Harding, I'm going to send this email out and hopefully get submissions. And she's like, and then I told her to read over the email, and then she said, oh girl, nobody's going to want to read that. And then she's like, you need a flyer. And I was just like, I was crying. I was just like, I don't know how to use, I don't know, I'm not really good at designing stuff. And then she's just like, and then that's where my little new tech skills kicked in. I had actually taken graphic design classes earlier, and I was just like, I just need a little refresher. And thankfully, Miss Hardin was there helping me through. She was just like, girl, I got your back. And I can't thank her enough. I really wish she could be here, but apparently she's not. At first, I wanted to put like the whole email on the flyer, like, cause you know I'm a writer, and I wanted every single little detail to be there. I'm like, everything needs to be there, else people won't know what I want. And then she's like, girl, you can't have that. You have to find a way to shorten it. And then I found myself doing that. It took me a while, but I got it through. And then this is my beautiful flyer. And then I'm pretty sure all of you have seen it because I sent you plenty of emails. And I'm pretty sure you see it in the hallways, and this was my way of getting people's attention. And with all of this chaos going on, I was struggling because WordPress was being mean to me. Like, I was really trying so hard to learn how to use it. And I decided that I needed a mental break. I was just like, I'm done. WordPress was my enemy. WordPress was not my best friend. He wasn't Google. So was WordPress. I was struggling to get these little hyperlinks. Another thing Santos told me that he didn't like. He was just, so at first it was like, you know how you go to like an article and it's just like a big, huge article, like paragraph after paragraph? At first it was going to be like that, like poem after poem after poem after poem. And I was just like, I don't want that, and clearly Santos didn't want that either. So I decided that I needed to find a way to hyperlink these things. And it took me about a month to figure out. And it took me a while, but I did it, and that's what I'm proud of. And then I was just like, Cruz, you're not a quitter. You have to finish what you started. So I was just like, you have to get back together. You have to watch the YouTube tutorials even though you're tired and it's morning and it's your first period off when you're not supposed to be doing anything, when you could be sleeping. And then I was just like, you have to get back together. You have to email and you have to learn next. And then let me tell you a little bit more about my best friend, YouTube. So YouTube was sort of kind of like a frenemy. So I would type in how to add like a more option on WordPress. So like the little hyperlink could actually work. And then it literally said how to add a read more link to WordPress post. Let me tell you this, YouTube can actually lie to you. You can watch that video and it shows you how to like bold and italicize. And I was just like, I already know this, and I just wasted 6 minutes of my first period on that. And I would have to like keep watching video after video, but I eventually found it, and Miss Hardin was there like, yeah, I did it. Yeah, I did. And then, so you could get an idea of what WordPress looks like. Here is what is given to you in WordPress. So when you enter WordPress, it's a little dashboard that they give you, and that's where all your statistics shows. That's where I actually saw that people were actually going to my website. And that made me really happy. And this is the annual page. This was my first enemy when I came across WordPress, because like it would literally be like a whole art, like a whole poem after poem after poem, And it would like have to like scroll down. And then that's where I figured out how to use the hyperlinks. And I was really excited. And then submissions started coming in. Oh my goodness gracious. You should have seen me when I got that first submission. And her name's Andrea, and then she's a sophomore. Most of you should know her. She's usually in the hallways. And she, like, I told her about it, and she was just like, yeah. And I really thought, I didn't really think she should submit something to me. But then I got her email, and that morning when I went to Ms. Harden's room, she's like, girl, what's wrong with you? Like, I had opened up my email, and then it was like, for your senior project, and then it was Andrea, and I was just like, I got my first submission, and then Ms. Harden was like, and then I was just like, having my own little moment. And then after her submissions, I started getting a couple of more submissions, and then I was, it wasn't that many, but it was more than I had expected, right? Something is better than nothing. And that's what made me really happy about it, that people were actually taking their time to submit something to me. And the due date was supposed to be April 1st. But I was only getting a few submissions. Like, there wasn't that many, as I said, but I was really thankful for those who did take their time and submitted something to me. It was stressing me out, but I knew that if I extended the due date, maybe more people would submit, and eventually more did, and that really made me happy. Like, I still cry. Like, you can still send me a submission right now, and I will go there, and like, I would read that email, and I'll start crying right there in that instance, because you don't know how much, like, you don't know how much writing means to me. Like, when I see people that are actually willing to like express themselves and like show me something, and it touches my heart. I mean, it's so powerful to me. And most of you right now are like looking at me like, Cruz, why is this important? Let me tell you. So, writing is portable and permanent. You can never say that you can't write that right there, because all your words are in your brain, are in yourselves. They're not somewhere else, so you always have writing with you. It lets you express yourself, my theme, that I wanted people to have a way to express themselves and actually like give it out, put it out. It makes your thinking visible. You're no longer thinking it, you're writing it down. You're writing what you feel down, and it's beautiful, because it's you, it describes you, and it's so precious. And it's not just me saying this, I got some backups. These organizations back me up. Thank you, Santos. And so Austin Batcave, 826 National, and ACE, a Community for Education, are some organizations that help students get back to their reading level and writing level. Austin Batcave and 826 National actually go to juvenile centers and help those juveniles reach the recommended criteria for where they need to be. And about 85% of those juveniles are functionally illiterate, meaning that they can't like write or read. And then Austin Batcave and 826 National make sure to get them back there. And that's good, and that's great, and that's amazing. And ACE, a Community for Education, a quote I found and that is inspiring to them is, for low-income and minority children, not reading well by 3rd grade means they are 4 times as likely not to finish high school. And that's a big thing for them. They work to get those students back to their reading skills where they need to be, so they are able to graduate high school and be amazing and graduate. And if I couldn't be any more thankful, no. The Senior Poetry Project came along. I was so excited when this happened. It was like rainbows. It was everything. And I couldn't thank Mr. B and Mr. Santos enough for like giving us this opportunity to share our seniors poetry project. And I was having trouble thinking why my senior project was important. Like, I saw so many, like, that's why they're important. Like, I would see people talking about their senior project, and then I would get it, like, right away. That's why it's important. That's why they're spreading the word, and mine was just like, I don't know. And the senior poetry project helped me realize why my project was important. Because poetry is a way to let your feelings down and write it out, and you're expressing yourself. So you're letting all your anger, your frustration, your happiness, all your little feelings out on paper. And when presentations came along, people were really into it. They were having some deep thoughts. They were powerful. Some people even were crying during the presentations, and then just that moment right there when I saw the person crying, it's just like, Cruz, that's why your project is important, because it lets them be who they are without anyone telling them who they are. And this is how my WordPress account started, with a simple template from WordPress that took me a while to figure out how to get a template in the first place. And it was a simple, my blog took me a while to figure out how to change, as well as those tabs. It was difficult, but I'm giving a huge shout out to whoever posted those YouTube videos. And this is how it ended. And I'm going to take you to my website, and hopefully you like it, because I really do like it. And I'm really proud of it, and you should feel proud of me too. You should pull up. It's going. Taking its time. This is how it looks like, and I'm so happy. Okay, so watch this. So you go to the About tab, and it has a little index. That took me a while to figure out. I was so excited when I got that working. I was jumping. Just ask Miss Harden about my how was Cruz in the morning? Just ask her, and she was just she was weird. She would judge me for the tiniest thing. I'm like, Miss Harden, I figured out how to work this, and she's just like, okay. It was nothing to her, and I was just like, this is important because I figured out how to do this. And then here are the little links that I learned how to do. And then this freshman, her name is Macy Major. She was one of my first couple of submissions too. And if you have the time, you should really go and check out, you should go read all of the poems in the first place, because they're all wonderful. They all mean something. Most of them made me cry. And this one, it's beautiful. You should really go read it. And in case you're wondering, where can I go? Can you send me the link? I already sent you the link a couple of times. And here are the stories. You should read Priscilla's story. That one made me cry too. I was in PE class one day, and I was just like, Priscilla, you have to send me a story because I know you and we've known each other for a while, and you need to send me a story because I'm your friend, and friends are supposed to help each other. And then, surprisingly, she did. And I was like, oh my God, you actually submitted something to me, and I was really happy. I'm really happy, Priscilla. And you should really read that story. It's very touching, and it's real, and you should really go read it. And then here's some sketches, and then they're great too. You should really go see them now too. Go to your email, click here to go see my website, and it'll lead you to it. And then here's some photography. And the first picture I got was by Michael's sister, Jessica Dosa. And she sent me this. She sent me this picture. This wasn't here. She sent me that picture. And I was just like, I'm sorry, but you kind of need a caption for it. You might hate me, but I need a caption. because they can just get a picture up there. It's supposed to be a creative work of art, and it's supposed to have a writing with it. And she was just like, oh, it's fine. She did that micro shoulder thing. It's fine. And then she sent me this description, and I was just like, wow, look, I'm going to read it to you. And y'all are going to go, wow. Like, you see this picture, right? You see the picture?
Yes.
It says, I took this picture my first month into the school, and as cheesy as it sounds, made me feel like it was a new, fresh start. Nature doesn't hurry, yet it's always accomplished. Wow. It was like mind-blowing to me. And as I said before, you should really go back to your email. Actually, I'm going to send you another email. It's going to have a link to the website, and you need to go check it out. And actually, I can actually see if you actually go to my website, because as I said before, as I said in the little PowerPoint, in my dashboard, it has the statistics of how many people actually click on my website. So, we'll be watching. And back to here. And that's how it is. And I am not done. I would like to thank all the people who made this possible for me. Success isn't always a straight line. There's always going to be obstacles, challenges that you have to overface. To me, that obstacle was WordPress. Maybe I could tell you to challenge yourself and use WordPress, make a blog website, right? Using WordPress, and maybe you'll find it easier than I did. Maybe you won't have to watch those YouTube tutorials. But I took that as a personal challenge. Many people were telling me to use Wix, to use Google Sites, and an easy website. And I was just like, no, Miss Spain told me to use WordPress. I'm finished using WordPress because I don't quit. I wasn't born to quit. And so I did it. I accomplished my WordPress website, Santos. And I'm really happy about it. And I really encourage all of you to join senior projects, because it's an amazing opportunity. And I would like to thank Ms. Spain for telling me to use WordPress in the first place. I really thank her, even though I had trouble figuring out how to use it. Ms. Harden for making me laugh in the morning when I didn't want to watch those YouTube tutorials. Ms. Bailey for giving me the idea and engraving it in my head. Mr. Santos for being his sassy self and keeping me on track. Mr. A for always being there for me. Mr. B because he helped me actually come along. And then New Tech, because then New Tech skills, they take a huge part in this. All right? This wouldn't be, I wouldn't be standing here in front of you actually talking to you if it wasn't for New Tech. So, thank you, New Tech. And of course, I would like to thank you.